Hey guys, I'm back here with the live. Sorry for that slight disruption. Welcome to my weekly Jay's Genius group Facebook Live. It's fantastic to see so many of you tuning in online. I know so many of you just tuned in with me. I hope you're going to come back. I am right here live right now. Come back and join me. Press that share button so lots more people can join in as well. Sorry for that short disruption that we just had there. Fantastic to see all of you coming in again. Brilliant to have you here. Real Talk with Ashley Lynn. Shout out for NJ for you. Actually, if you want to shout out, let me know your name and where in the world you're tuning in from. Great to see so many of you coming in online right now. Akshay, Nived, Abhishek, we're back. Fantastic. Press the like button, press that love button, press that share button. Great to see so many of you tuning in live right now. What we're talking about today is this phenomenal topic. So if you stick around, this is what I'm talking about today. What do successful people not do or never do in the morning? What are the things that you make mistakes in and you think, I want to stop doing that in the morning? Right? I'm going to talk you through the successful people. What are their routines? What do they never do in the morning? And what do they make sure that they do in the morning? So if you've tuned in right now, that's what I'm talking to you about. It's live, real-time advice. If you're joining in, you can ask me any questions. If you want to shout out, let me know where in the world you're tuning in from. I love the fact that we've got people from all over the world tuning in right now. Saki, great to see you. Marcella, Sue, Judy, Jesse, great to see you. Thanks so much for being here. Igor, Zelda, Rishi, fantastic to see all of you online right now. Roxanne, phenomenal to see you as well. Jadine, I'm glad. I love that comment. Wait for this for Jadine. She almost chucked her phone in the Atlantic, but she's glad I'm back. Well, I'm glad to be back. I've missed every single one of you, and you can get used to these now. I'm going to be doing one of these a week. They're brought to you by 9 Spokes. If you're a business person, an entrepreneur, a small business, I'm going to put the link into the comments. Make sure you check it out after the live broadcast. Sign up. It takes 2 minutes to do it. Phenomenal app that will help your business. But let's get going on this theme that I wanted to talk to you about today, about how successful people manage their mornings. Write in the comment section the biggest mistakes that you make. Maybe you're one of those people who wakes up and the first thing you do in the morning is check your phone, right? Press the like button if that's you. Maybe what you do is that the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning is that you press the snooze button, press the like button if that's you. Maybe when you wake up in the morning, the first thing that you do, right, is none of those two, but actually you get up, you get out of bed, but then you sneak back into bed because you're feeling a bit lazy. Press the like or love button if that's you, right? We all have morning patterns that we want to change. Susan, wonderful to see you. Parul, great to see you tuning in. Brandon, wonderful to see you tuning in. So let me know in the comment section, what are your biggest struggles in the morning? If you think there's anyone in your community that needs to hear this, press that share button right now as well. So I'm going to talk you through what I believe are the 7 things that successful people never do in the morning. See, success is about what you should do and what you need to stop doing. I want to focus on what you should stop doing right now, because sometimes it's easier to stop habits than it is to start an amazingly new habit. This kind of ticks both boxes as well. I'm looking at your questions as well. Nicole, hi, hope you've been well. I love to listen to what you think. Thank you, Nicole, for tuning in. Love and light from Chicago, from Dawn. Thank you so much. That means the world to me. Abba, I'm glad you're watching from Vancouver. Doug, great to see you here. Start work immediately, says Doug. That's what you do. Someone else says, Hema says she snoozes and checks Facebook for an hour, right? Jenny, thanks so much for tuning in. Brilliant. And I've said all your patterns, Nicole. Right? So we all are wired to do things when we wake up that we don't like doing. We've fallen into this mode. So if you stick around, I'm going to be telling you, and I'm so glad you guys are all sharing this video right now. I'm going to be live once a week. I'm going to be sharing with you the 7 principles of successful people, things that successful people never do, right? So the number one thing that successful people never do in the morning, or what they didn't do the night before, is set multiple alarms. When you set multiple alarms, you're allowing your mind the choice to decide the next morning to say no to what you really want to do. It's one of the biggest mistakes that we can make, right? We all make these huge mistakes. How many of you are people that set multiple alarms, right? You've all seen that meme. Some people set 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 7:15, 7:20, 7:25, 7:35, 7:45, right? It's just on and on and on. How many of you set multiple alarms in that way, right? We've all done it. We've all been there. Big mistake. Don't ever do that. Why? Because you're already programming your brain and your mind from the night before to believe, A, it's okay to wake up a little later than you want to. B, there's going to be another reminder anyway, so you're not feeling any urgency to actually wake up at that moment in time. So the first step you can do is remove. Successful people do not send or set multiple alarms. Guys, it's great to have so many of you tuned in online right now. Thank you so much for being here. We've got a huge community of 2,000 people tuning in live right now, and I'm glad that you guys are enjoying this feed. If you are, let me know what you're taking away. Kirsty says, I do that every day. Wan says, always just one and just getting up straight away. That's great to hear. Louise says, Facebook in the morning, maybe read the paper instead. Set multiple alarms, says Sue. Phil shared, I need to set an alarm. Yeah, you need to set an alarm. So what my advice is set multiple alarms for the same time. Right, rather than setting up the same alarm for different times, set up multiple alarms for the same time. Imagine you woke up in the morning and you had to switch off 4 alarms. That's hard work. And put them in each corner of the room if you have to. I remember doing this at one point in my life. I actually had 4 different alarms. One was a digital. I had 2 mobile phones. They were all kept in the 4 corners of my room. And when they all went off at the same time, I had to wake up. And I had to get out of my bed to switch them off. It forced me to get out of that habit that I'd been put into, right? That's the way to do it. Set multiple alarms for the same time, not multiple alarms for different times, right? That slight switch can make a massive difference. Abhi, I'm glad you missed these. Thanks so much. Ahmed, I wake up at 6 in the morning. Awesome. That's great to see that. Christine, I could just share this all day. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're enjoying this. Ritika, I'm glad that you're tuning in. Checking my mobile and tune into music early. How many people do that? I'm definitely going to dive into that in a moment as well. Guys, make sure you press that like button, press that love button, press that share button. And I'm going to be putting a comment in at the end of this live broadcast. Make sure you visit that link as well. Please, please, please make sure you do that. Cheryl says, I don't usually use an alarm. That's awesome. If you can wake up without an alarm at the same time every day, you've made it in life, right? Congrats. A massive, massive congrats. Great to see so many of you. I'm glad you're connecting with this advice. Rahak, Hema, fantastic to have you all online. So that was point number 1, multiple alarms at the same time. Don't give your space to your mind to redesign what it actually wants to do. Again, if you're listening to this and you go, you know what, I've got a friend who needs to see this, press that share button, right? They need to see this. Point number 2. How many of you wake up in the morning? I've already seen some of your comments saying this. You turn on social media. How many of you pick up your phone and you have a list of WhatsApp messages? Maybe you have 300 WhatsApp messages. Maybe you have this many Snapchat messages. Maybe you've got 100 Instagram notifications. Maybe you've got this many Facebook messages. Social media is like letting people into your mind just the way you would into your bedroom. Now, if you wake up in the morning, would you let 100 people into your bedroom? Right? Just as soon as you wake up. You wouldn't. So why would we let 100 people into our mind in the morning? What happens is we fill our mind with more information in the first hour of waking up than people did in their whole life. See, we create more data in one day today than we created in decades. So you're opening yourself up to a plethora of information that you never had to process before. Now imagine waking up in the morning and having to go through that information. Imagine your brain, your mind is feeling so slow. It's kind of just waking up. It's still trying to warm up, and you're pushing it into dealing with all this information. Imagine how difficult that is for your mind and brain, right? As soon as you wake up, to snap into work mode, to snap into excitement mode. It's quite a difficult thing to do. Mangesh says, I go for cycling when I wake up, listening to songs. That's incredible. Ami says, I don't use my phone until after breakfast. My son is more important than my phone. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Trisha says, up at 7 for the gym, couple of mornings a week. Great to start the day. That's awesome to hear. Vicky says, I get up in the morning, just scroll through my newsfeed. Yeah, be careful about that. That small scroll, it starts as a habit and then it develops. It develops. It develops. So don't turn on social media in the morning. The way to stop that is set a time that you will look at your phone. Start your day recognizing you'll get more done if you move forward. Dave says 1 hour of positive posts on Facebook in the morning. That's still interesting. I would still say that if you can give your mind just a bit of time to wake up, have that moment, then that would be a great thing to do. Love says, you're right. I will just enjoy my coffee and enjoy the moment with no social media. Yeah, just in that morning, just in that small gap, that we have at the beginning, right? Sajad says, what do you reckon people should do immediately after waking up? What would be the right time to check your social media account? So what I recommend are two things, right? Meditation or mindfulness and exercise. Why? Because your body's just been in deep sleep, in deep rest for 7, 8, 9 hours, however long you've been asleep. You want to wake it up gradually. Some light exercise, meditation and mindfulness to prep the brain. See, the morning allows you to become ready for the rest of the day, right? You're preparing yourself for the rest of the day. You're going to have to make decisions. You're going to have to run. You're going to have to work hard. You're going to have to speak to people. You're going to have to communicate. And if you're tired, if you're not at full performance, you start seeing negative responses and consequences in your life. So my two tips are meditation and exercise. It can just be 20 minutes each. It can be 10 minutes each. Just a small amount will do that, right? Wake up and enjoy the morning outside, says Chris. Goes on a walk with his dog. Awesome. Eddie says, thanks, Jay. I prefer early morning meditation and jogging before I pick my phone up. Amazing. So happy that you're doing that. Israel says, my phone before I sleep, phone first I wake, social media, my office. So every time on social media, does this help? No, it's challenging unless you're tuning into the right stuff and being careful about when you tune in. Nicole says she wakes up 6 a.m., 4 miles walk every morning. Incredible. Guys, it's great to have so many of you tuned in online right now. I hope you're appreciating these tips and principles. Stay tuned in. Press the like button, press the love button, press that share button. I love that energy that's flying across the screen. Principle number 3. Things that successful people never do. Number 3, in the morning, right? Make small decisions. We all struggle with decision fatigue. Mr. Levitin, Dr. Levitin, in his book, The Organized Mind, talks about decision fatigue. How when we make more small, insignificant decisions, we find it harder to make the bigger decisions when we actually want to. Now, what happens there is that 2 of the biggest decisions we try and make in the morning is, what should I eat and what should I wear? Figure that out the night before. Do not leave it till the morning to try and think about that, right? It's great to have so many of you tuned in online right now. And just think about that for a moment. Do not leave those little decisions that you can figure out anytime, right? You can figure out what you want to eat for breakfast. You can figure out what you want to wear the night before. Don't leave that till the morning. Leave the morning for preparation of your mind. Leave the morning for reflection. Leave the morning for getting positivity, for feeling pumped, right? Do not leave the morning time to be thinking about what to wear, what to eat, right? So never leave small things to be done in the morning. Never start with that. And another thing that successful people never do in the morning is to-do lists. All 3 of those things are done the night before. To-do lists, what to wear, what to eat, decided the night before. Do not try and decide that in the morning, because what it does is it slows down your energy to actually make the bigger decisions in life. So you will find, and this will radically change the way you perform. I guarantee it, because I do it myself. When I minimized my investment in thinking about decisions in the morning, smaller decisions that can be made at any time, I started to have more energy, right? More impetus, more passion, more meaning, more mental space, more time to invest in making the big decisions, right? Angela says, I always feel better when I pick out my clothes the night before. Good to read that. I'm seeing you guys have similar realizations. Christy, I have to go, but seriously, you're amazing. Thank you so much, Kirsty. I really, really appreciate that. Could you give some tips to avoid rolling over bed while still awake but having the difficulty of getting up and going out in the day? Ibrahim, great question. Multiple alarms, same time. Put them all around the room if you have to, if that's what wakes you up, whatever it takes, right? I always skip breakfast because I don't have time. I'm actually going to get onto that, right? Successful people never skip their breakfast. I'll get on to that. That was later, but I'm going to say it now because Vinay just brought it up. Successful people never skip their breakfast. Again, you need energy in the morning. Your body's just been sleeping and resting. That energy helps your brain, starts working. You start making better decisions. Successful people never skip breakfast in the morning. Jesse says, started meditation when I was 5. I have to do it just to wake up, and I'm so clear for the rest of the day. Jesse, I love that. That's amazing. How long have you been doing that for? That's incredible, right? Rania says, I have a strict rule that I can't check my phone until I've completed my morning prayers and meditation. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Ransom says, I normally read a book or walk my dogs in the morning to set a good pace. That's brilliant, right? That's awesome. Do you have any recommendation for meditation? I love the Calm and I love the Headspace app. They're absolutely awesome. That's true. Making all decisions in the evening, the night before. Yeah, definitely. So, number one, things successful people never do in the morning. Number one, they never set multiple alarms for different times. They set multiple alarms for the same time, right? Different alarms around the room. Point number two, turn on social media. Successful people never turn on social media as the first thing they do, right? If anything, they turn it off until like 11 a.m., 10 a.m. It's okay playing catch up on social media. It's not okay playing catch up here. Remember that. It's okay playing catch up on social media. It's okay. The fear of missing out on your phone, the fear of missing out on your brain is far worse, and it's going to affect you much more deeply. Do not worry about the fear of missing out on social media. Worry about the fear of missing out on rest, preparation, rejuvenation, re-energizing for your mind, brain, and consciousness. That's the FOMO that you need to have. So FOMO is okay, but FOMO for the right thing, okay? And number four, things successful people don't do in the morning. If they're in the morning and they're working from home, they don't wear pajamas. I know that it's become this cool thing now. Hey, look at me in my pajamas working from home. Now, the reason why people shouldn't work in their pajamas, or I don't recommend it, is because actually, when we do that, we're programming our body. It's very important. And Arianna Huffington speaks about this in a book called The Sleep Revolution. And this was quite new to me. It's that our mind and body are conditioned sometimes by what we wear. When we wear sports clothing, we feel like being active. We feel like playing a sport. When we wear that to bed or we wear that somewhere else, if you imagine doing that, your body is still feeling conditioned. Our body builds up habits and patterns of thought with what we wear and what we think and what we're doing at that time. Hence why you'd really struggle going to the gym in a suit, right? You'd never do that. You wouldn't be able to be on a treadmill wearing smart dress shoes, right? You'd have to wear trainers. It's why when we play football or soccer or any sort of sport, you wear the attire because it gets you in that mindset. Similarly with work, if you want to perform and be successful, you need to be ready and wearing what it takes at that time. Guys, I am so thrilled to have so many of you tuned in online right now. I hope you're going to spread the word by pressing that share button. I'm so grateful that you've decided to tune in for this live. I really hope that it's adding value to your life. I'm reading it. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Rebecca. I'd love to see your thoughts on what I'm talking about. But this is one of my favorites. What you wear can define your attitude. Successful people in the morning never stick to wearing their pajamas because their pajamas program us to feel tired, feel relaxed, maybe even feel anxiety. If you're feeling anxiety while you're asleep, get dressed for what makes you feel comfortable, right? Get ready because that preparation is extremely important. Now, the best channel to reach me is on Twitter or Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, I'm Shetty J. Go and find me. It's my name backwards. Find me on Twitter. It's J Shetty IW as well. Bisma, I'm glad you're enjoying this. Stephanie says, I'm so tagging my sister to this. I'm glad. Tag away. Emma, I love to hear you speaking. You're so right. Thank you so much. I'm glad, Emma, that you're connecting as well. Jay, awesome. Make sure you, Phil, Jay, how can I get in touch with you? Speak at an event. Tweet me, Phil. J Shetty IW. Tweet me. Wow, rule number 4 is as good as number 1, says Millie. Millie, I'm glad you're enjoying this session. Thank you so much. And I want you to help me define the topics each week. Remember, the session's brought to you by 9 Spokes. If you're a small business, if you're an entrepreneur, if you want to be an entrepreneur, make sure you go to the link on this feed at the end and visit it and sign up. It takes 2 seconds and it's absolutely free. Make sure you do that for sure. So I'm glad you're awake listening to this, says Lawania. Well, I'm glad you're joining in too. Step number 5 was they never skip breakfast. So I already said that. Make sure that you're eating in the morning. Again, don't eat too heavy, right? For years I've eaten porridge in British or in English, or oatmeal as they call it in America, in New York, where I am right now. That's what I've been eating in the morning for years. It makes it simple. I know what I'm eating. I know what I'm having. Maybe sometimes I mix it up with a bit of granola if I'm feeling like teasing myself, tempting myself. But I keep it simple because that allows me to start focusing on the real decisions of life. And that's the thing. We all make worse decisions when we have to make more decisions and we have more choices available to us. Exercising, Colleen, is a brilliant idea. Against light exercising is better. Anita says, Jay, you bring continuously such positivity. Well, thank you so much. Sunny, I'm glad you're truly intrigued and listening clearly. please repeat the link. It is 9 Spokes. I'm going to be putting the link into the comment section. I want all of you to go sign up. It's free. I'm partnering up with them because they're a great product, a great app, which will help you manage a lot of apps in that space. Recommend it to your friends. Debbie says, this goes with nothing you're talking about, but oh, thank you so much, Debbie. I really appreciate that. I've been watching this from the beginning, says Zabila. I'm really happy to have you here. Michael, great to see you. Tim, Jay, that's so right, because what you wear on bed determine your morning. Yes, completely true. Shauna says, oatmeal with berries keeps you satisfied, even though it's not the most amazing thing in the world. It's really good for you. Yes, completely true. I do it all the time. Okay, number 6, people that go straight to work. Successful people, one of the first things they never do in the morning is go straight to work. Why? Because preparing yourself for work is powerful. The meditation, the exercise, the eating a good breakfast. And you're going to tell me, Jay, I don't have time. We don't have time, but imagine you can make 15 minutes more time. Imagine you can make 20 minutes more time. I'm not talking about making an hour more time in the morning. I'm talking about making a limited amount of time in the morning so that you can really make a difference. You can really make an impact. You can really prepare for what's about to come. When you go straight into work, you start dealing with the details, right? You start dealing with the little details that you haven't been able to figure out. But when you give yourself that time in the morning to actually prep, then you're able to focus much better, correct? So definitely have a think about that. Don't go straight to work in the morning, even though you're always tempted to. I'm always tempted to as well. Hail, great to see you joining from Istanbul. Thank you so much. Pragati says, I'm a student and I get a bundle of assignments to get done with overnight. How to wake up early if you get to bed late at night? I so want to wake up early but not able to. Please suggest. You really got to retrain yourself. Now, if you get more work, figure out whether you get more work done in the morning or whether you get more work done in the evening. I've always been a morning person. I fly through things in the morning. I retain better in my memory in the morning. So that's something that's definitely worked for me, and I would really think about what works for you. Now, if you need to stay up late, make sure it's not too late. See, the sleep between what we get before 12 midnight is more powerful than the sleep we get afterwards. Science suggests that it's better to sleep between 10 and 12, 9 and 12. That sleep is more, what's the right word? Re-energizing and rejuvenating for your mind, brain, and body than the sleep after 12. So even when you sleep from 12 to 10, even though you slept 10 hours, it's not as powerful as the sleep that you would have had if you slept a little bit earlier. Ellie says, Jay, me and my mom love watching you. Thank you. My mom is Angela. Awesome. Great to have you both here. Morning, Satyal, commit to healthy habits, but thanks for reminding it. It's so vital. Try it out once a week. Start building a habit to have one morning a week that is your ideal morning. You'll fall so much in love with it that you want to create it for the rest of the days. See, that's the key. When you create something you love for one day, for 1 hour, you want to do it more. Don't try to do it every day. If you try jump into doing everything I'm saying every day, it's going to be really difficult. Try and do it for one day and you'll see the difference. Anisha, I'm glad you like the videos I'm making. Becky says, I'm guilty of going straight to work. Don't worry, Becky. I so am myself, as I do as well. Very tough not to do. Thank you so much. Paula, mornings are hard for me too. I'm a creative night owl. Absolutely fine. Love from India, Rashi. Thanks for the positivity and thanks for being here. Awesome. Let me know your questions, guys, if you've got any questions for me. Principle number 7. Don't start your day off with these 3 things: complaining, comparing, or criticizing. Do not start your day off with complaining about the day, because that means you're seeing it through the lens of complain. Guys, thank you so much for being online right now. I'm so grateful that so many of you have missed these lives. I've missed being with you, and I'm so excited to be back with you. But this is something that I really think is important. Do not start your day with complaining. Imagine you woke up and you started your day off by wearing glasses, and the glasses had a red tin, right? A red lens. You'd see red for the rest of the day. That's what complaining is like. It's like wearing complaining glasses. And everywhere you look for the rest of the day, you'll be complaining. You'll see complaining. You'll think complaining. So do not start your day off with complaints, right? These are the 7 things successful people never do in the morning. They don't set multiple alarms for different times. They set multiple alarms for the same time. They turn on social media never. They never focus on the small decisions like what to eat, what to wear, and their to-do list that's done the night before. They never stick around in their pajamas. They never skip breakfast. They never go straight to work, and they never complain right? Very, very important. Michael, thanks for tuning in online. Says, you taught me the 3 C's 8 years ago. They changed my life. I'm glad. They're so powerful. No complaint, comparison, or criticism in the morning. It's just not worth it, right? It's just not worth it, guys. Do not let that happen to you. Do not let that happen to you. Let me know what questions you have for me. Angela, I'd love to come to Canada. Haven't had an invite yet, so I'm seeing that as an invite from you. I really appreciate that, right? And I'm just popping in a link into the comments that everyone online, I want you to visit that link, right? It's on a few of my posts as well. Visit that link, enter your details. Subscription is absolutely free. It's not going to cost you anything, but it is a really powerful tool that I'd love for you all to be using. So my personal recommendation is, if you're a small business, you're an entrepreneur, you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to understand digital and how it's affecting you want to understand how these apps work, check out that link I've just popped into the comments. You can sign up for free. It's so quick. It's so easy. Please do that, because these sessions are being brought to you by 9 Spokes. We're partnering up so that I can do more of these lives to give you great advice. Sebastian says, thanks for your energy, your dynamism, how to be successful with a new life, new study for new career, search new loves, new friends, new. Sebastian, there's a lot of new going on there. Anything new, focus on your intention. When something's starting, you get this unique opportunity to define your habits and intention. You can set boundaries. You can figure out exactly what you want. You can invest in your purpose. You can make it meaningful. Please, please start with intention, right? Please, please, please focus on intention. Intention means, why am I doing this? Why is this meaningful? Why is this important of this? Letitia, you have no idea how these complaint thoughts just may have changed my world. Did that going to bed and continued this morning. Thank you, Letitia. Thank you for raising that. If you go to sleep, these things, same things apply before sleep. Everything I've said today, things successful people never do in the morning, they never do it before they go to bed either, right? They don't switch on their social media before they go to bed. So make sure you're not doing those things before bed either. Shraddha, great to see you. Thank you so much. Don't worry about what you love to do every day. Figure out what's meaningful to you. And if you can't figure that out, test, experiment, learn. Carolyn, I like your 3 C's. Clarity, creative, conscious. Absolutely love that. Michael, great question. What's the best way of returning to a morning routine after a long haul flight? A long haul flight, there's a great dish. Anyone who's Indian will know exactly what I'm talking about. It's called khichdi. You want a grounding meal to help you feel earthed, to help you feel grounded. The second thing that's recommended after a long haul flight to deal with jet lag and have a good morning routine is take your shoes off, take your socks off, and go and walk on the earth. Go and walk on the grass. It's an incredibly grounding effect. Take off those socks, take off those shoes. Let your feet, your actual soles of your feet, touch the ground. It's earthing. It's beautiful, right? That's a great way to do it. James, Jay, I love your advice. It helped me heaps. If you're ever in Australia, I would pay anything to hear you speak. James, thank you so much. I love your energy. Join in and tune in with me live every week. I'm going to be live every single week, once a week from now on. And I want you all to join and spread the word. I want to grow this community, right? I want 100,000 people tuning in live, because imagine if everyone in the morning lived successfully. Imagine everyone in the morning grew up happy, positive, enlightened. Imagine we had a world where everyone used their morning to meditate, reflect, and grow. Imagine how all of our experiences would change. This is not about me. This is not just about you. It's about everyone. Imagine how we would rapidly change the consciousness of the planet if everyone meditated in the morning. Just that one act would mean that literally everyone around us would be more positive, more happy, more trusting and helping and serving of each other. Urmila, it's great to see you again. Thank you so much. This is a really important question from Madhu. How do I overcome negative people that I meet in the start of the day? Right. There's a filter you need to have, a kind of block that when you're meeting those negative people at the start of the day, you kind of just switch them off. You kind of push them out. You kind of don't let that come in. You want that kind of mask or that, what's that called? That shield, that protection, where any negativity at the beginning of the day, you just want to switch off from it, right? Jay, I'm glad you're following me on Instagram. You can find me on Instagram. It's Shetty J. Definitely do check that out. If you haven't checked out the link in the comments, make sure you do. I'm popping it in there again. I definitely want you to sign up. It will take you 2 minutes. Please do it. It'll be awesome if you can. Putting the link in the comments again as well. You've got it there. I'm reading more of your comments. If you've got more questions, I'm still right here, guys. Zayad, I thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. Right? I genuinely value all your positive comments. Junior, I'm glad that you like my videos. I would love to come to Zambia. Thank you so much for the kind invite. Hector says, I've seen the benefits of following your advice, but following a heartbreak from one person you trust the most, I guess I will let the power of time heal. Thank you for your videos. Well, we'll do a live about relationships. I think that relationships video, if you've seen it, I mean, thank you so much for the love that received. I definitely am going to do a Facebook Live on relationships. Geeta, Jay, I always get motivated by your videos, but after a few times, I'm again filled with negativity. Would you please tell me how to be positive all the time? You can't be positive all the time. You can choose to be positive in a negative situation, right? I get negative, we get down, we have a negative thought, but this is one moment. This thing, it's not necessarily related to the morning thing, but I want to say it. Do not judge the moment. If you can take this away, do not judge the moment. Remember this, play it over. Remember my voice saying it in your head. Do not judge the moment. When you hear some news, when you get some new information, do not judge it in the moment, because rarely does the moment truly uncover what it actually means. It has so much more wisdom. It has so much more potency. There is so much yet there to be uncovered. Blessings can turn into curses, and curses can turn into blessings. I've seen it happen in my own life, and therefore when you don't judge the moment, you save yourself a lot of anxiety. Don't judge the moment. See what you can proactively do to change your experience of it. But don't judge it. Don't say, oh my God, this is bad. Oh my God, this is good. When you say that, you line yourself up for failure. When you say, oh my God, this is bad, you get scared, you feel anxiety, you feel pressure. You've lost. Next time something good happens, you go, oh, this is great, this is amazing. You get ego, you get pride, and then you fall. Do not judge the moment. In the moment, build neutrality, equanimity. Notice the moment, observe it, and go, okay, this is what I need to do. Right? This is what I need to do. Think about what you need to do rather than judging the moment as good or bad. John, thanks for being here. Great to have so many of you tuned in online right now. Shauna, it's great to have you back. I handle negative people and thoughts by switching my mind to my favorite music or scene. I love that. Luis, your live videos too early, something really different from others. I'm glad, Luis. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. There's going to be lots more, and I want you to tell me the topics that I have to do. So I'm happy to do that. Thank you so much. It's brilliant. Andy says, I see a number of people saying they were looking to kick the complainers out of their lives. I think we need to embrace them as a challenge of our own positivity. The negative ones need help the most. Andy, I love that mindset. And if you can bring that mindset, if you can raise your game to have that mindset, that's incredible, right? But not everyone can do that. Sometimes people need self-preservation before they have selflessness, right? Sometimes we need self-preservation at the same time as selflessness. So we need to have both at the same time. You need to take care of yourself to serve others. Sarah says, what's an ideal morning routine for a productive day? Sarah, you got to figure your own out, but a few recommendations that you should definitely do in the morning. Take time to meditate, to breathe, right? Some exercise, just light exercise to warm up the body. Make sure you have a breakfast. Don't turn on social media until you feel ready, until you feel grounded, right? Nina, how to come over negative thoughts and get out of depression. So we looked at that a bit earlier. Thank you for asking your questions. Azin, I would love to come to Germany. Need an invite from someone. I would absolutely love that. How to not complain, says Rena. You don't complain by focusing on what you can do. When we use our energy to complain, we lose energy. When we use our energy to construct, we gain energy, right? Switch from complaining to constructing. You can either complain about what's happening, or you can use your energy to construct. And I always see that when people make that switch, they see incredible things happening in their life. I am so happy and excited right now to be back with all of you and seeing your incredible love on this post, on this live. I really hope that you're going to go click the 9 Spokes link and register today. Make sure you do that. Please do check that out. It will mean a lot to me. Sharon Wilson says, awesome. With a growth mindset, we could all soar. Meditation is very essential. It so is. Leslie says, I always look forward to your videos, Jay. So much wisdom. Thank you so much, Leslie. That means so much. Kelsey, smiles are contagious. When people are negative, should them love a flash smile. Love that. Where is that link? The link is in the comments. If you can't find it, I will share it on this post when I end it in a few moments. You'll be able to have it. Alicia says, great way of explaining how moments are temporary. We need to stay positive even through difficult times. Alicia, I love your reflections. Thank you so much for sharing all of these. Brent says, you've inspired me to write a song about positive relationships. I love this. Guys, if you don't follow me on Instagram, find me on Instagram as well. I'm Shetty J. It's just my name backwards. I'd love for you to join me there. Rachel Weston, thanks so much for tuning in today. Karen, thank you. I'm so glad that I'm able to uplift you. That means the world to me. John Phillips says, thanks, brother. I meditate every day with Brian to change my brain state. I love this, guys. The energy is electric. I'm getting so much love from all of you. I appreciate it. I love all the energy flying across screens. Steve, my questions are not getting answered, so I'm going to leave. Thanks for all the 7 motivational points. Steve, tell me your question. I don't always see everything. So remember this, guys. I can't see everything because all your comments are flying through. So I'm trying my best to get through as many as possible. Steve Peter, if you're still there, I'll try and answer your questions. I love your videos, says Rebecca. Great place to meditate. Headspace is awesome. The Calm app, both great places to start. Olga, great to see you from West Palm Beach, Florida. Anand, thank you so much for tuning in. Great to see you as well. Sundip, great to see you. Jacques, wonderful to see you. Would be good if you go into schools. Bryony, I do that a lot and I love speaking to young people. Definitely a big part of my life. I would love to come to India, Bharati. Thank you so much. Tia, how long were you gone? The link is bad. Hopefully the link I'll put the link back in straight after this, I promise. So guys, it has been fantastic speaking to you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will be back next week for another live. I'm going to put the link on this post right now as I publish it so you can still share this. Press that share button if you haven't already so that tons more people in this feed can still watch this again, get the advice that they need. Jana, Tia, so good to see all of you. Thank you so much. Michael's asking a question. Jay, for the new people turning in, may you share with us who you are and what drives you each and every day? What do you live for? Who am I? I'm a host, a filmmaker, a former monk. I deeply try and create content that can make wisdom go viral. I want wisdom to change the world because wisdom brings positivity, wisdom brings happiness, wisdom brings meaning, wisdom brings purpose. Wisdom is the root that we're all searching for. We're not searching for happiness because if we're searching for happiness, we get lost in what that means. We're not searching for positivity, we're searching for wisdom. What I'm trying to share through my channel is wisdom in a way that's relevant, innovative, and dynamic so that you can grab hold of it, make it practical in your lives. It drives me to see people living their potential and living their passion. Thank you so much for joining in today to Jay's Genius Sessions brought to you by 9 Spokes. I will put the link, please, if you've loved today, please visit the link. I'm going to put it in. Please sign up. It will take 2 minutes and it's absolutely free. Thank you so much. Lots of love and gratitude to each and every one of you. I'll see you next week. Thank you.